We spend the better part of our 20s and 30s chasing a salary number, and then one day we do get there, and somehow it still doesn't feel like enough. Because at the end of every month, the complete salary is just gone. Not on anything crazy, but on basic needs. And we don't talk about why it's happening. Where is the money actually going? There has to be some system, a framework that can help. And that's when we discover the personal finance rules. And the 50-30-20 rule comes to our minds first. Most of us have heard of it. This rule says 50% of our take-home salary should go to our needs, like rent, school fees, medical bills, electricity, etc. The next 30% should go to things which we enjoy, like dining out, travel, movies, etc. And the last 20% must go straight to savings and investments. The rule is very clean, very logical. Honestly, it sounds perfect, and I am sure quite a few of us have tried this. Every month we sit down, we do the math, and somehow it still doesn't add up. And we keep thinking, are we doing something wrong? Here's something nobody really talks about. This rule was written in 2005 by an American senator for people living in America. We just picked it up and started using it without thinking whether it even makes sense for someone living in India in cities like Delhi, Bengaluru, or Mumbai. Because look at what's actually happened in the last 10 years. Our salaries in real terms, I mean after inflation, grew at 0.4% a year. Not 4%, but 0.4. Rent went up by 25 to 30% since 2019. And if you want your child in a good school, you're looking at approximately 4 lakh a year. And RBI data shows our household savings are at their lowest point in the last 50 years. Well, obviously the rule stayed the same. 50% is still 50%. But everything that lives inside that 50% is completely a different story today. Let's actually do the math. Let's take an example of a real person earning 50 lakhs a year in a metro city like Mumbai. After tax, the take-home amount would land somewhere between 3 to 3.25 lakhs a month. Let's take 3 lakh for our calculations. So according to rule, the needs should stay under 1.5 lakh a month, which is 50% of 3 lakh. The wants bucket gets 90,000, which is 30% of 3 lakh. And 60,000, which is 20% of 3 lakh, goes straight to savings. So let's actually try and fill the needs bucket and see where we land. Let's say you're renting in a decent area. Nothing fancy, just a normal 2 BHK in a good locality. That's your 35 to 45,000 gone. 2 kids in school. You want them to learn, explore new things, do something beyond just textbooks. So fees, school transport, and a couple of hobby classes. That's around approximately 25,000 every single month for one child. For 2, it's 50,000. Then the bills come. Electricity, water, internet, society maintenance charges, phone bills. These are not optional. They come every month without fail. Car MI. In most Indian cities with 2 kids and aging parents at home, a car is not a luxury. It comes under basic need. Fuel and MI together, that's another 40 to 45,000. Then comes the groceries and insurance. And that one line item we always forget, parents' support, or just money kept aside for situations like when the fridge dies or the AC needs servicing. These things happen, and that too without any warnings. And look, we've already crossed the 50% mark, and we haven't spent a single rupee on wants yet. Zero. No dining out, no movie, no holiday, nothing. When we look at the full year, the needs alone are eating somewhere between 60 to 70% of everything we're bringing home. Before wants, before savings, before anything else. On a good month, after needs maybe, we are left with 30% in total for savings and wants. So what happens now? Do we compromise? Or do we save less than we should? Or do we spend less than we want? And at the end of every month, we're just sitting there wondering, where did it all go? I was in the same spot for a very long time. I tried this rule, it didn't work. I tried my own percentages, too tight one month, completely off the next month. It took me about 4 to 5 months of getting it wrong before I landed on something that actually felt workable. And the first thing I had to do was just stop fighting the number. If your needs are taking 60%, just call it 60%. Stop trying to fit your real life into some spreadsheet. So here's what I landed on. People call it 60-10-20-10, 4 buckets. Many other people have suggested this in past. I tried this for 5 months and it felt workable. 60% for needs. This is the honest number for most of us in Delhi, Mumbai or Bengaluru. Rent, school fees, transport, bills, groceries, insurance, car, parents, everything that just has to happen every month. 10% for wants. Yes, it's less than what the other rule promised, but this is the real number. And here's the thing, when you know this is your number, the guilt disappears. You've earned this 10%, spend it without thinking twice. 20% straight to investments. This leaves before you touch it. The day salary lands, it's gone into SIP, equity, whatever your plan is. Doesn't matter what the month looks like. And the last 10%, the most human bucket. We call it the freedom fund. It's not savings, it's not wants, it's just life. Some months it goes to your parents. Some months the AC breaks down and it covers that. Some months you use it to gift something, your wife, your mother, someone who matters. Some months nothing happens and it just quietly sits there and builds up. This bucket is what stops one unexpected thing from unraveling everything else. Now, I want to be honest here. This is not a magic solution. Nobody has it. Maybe the real answer is earning twice what we earn today. Who knows? What I'm saying is, I found a way to make it less stressful. Something I could actually stick to month after month. And the other thing I kept reminding myself, this is not a permanent picture. It changes because at some point in time, the car loan will end and the home loan gets smaller every year. Every time one of those costs disappears, you don't go and spend that money somewhere else. You move it straight into savings because the habit is already built. The system stays the same. You just have more breathing room. Let's go back to our calculations that we did a while back. With 60%, more or less, the needs items covered. Not perfectly, but close enough that you're not lying awake at month end doing mental math. 30,000 rupees for wants. Spend it without guilt because it's already accounted for. 60 to 65,000 going into investments every single month and 30,000 sitting quietly in the freedom fund. And I know some of you are still skeptical. You might say, this sounds good on paper, but my numbers just don't fit into this. Let's address those concerns as well here. If your needs are genuinely above 60%, maybe home loan just started, house rent, expensive school, and 20% investments feels impossible right now, that's okay. Start where you actually are. Maybe 65% needs, 8% investments, whatever is real, because a habit you can sustain at 8% will always beat a plan that looks perfect on paper and falls apart in month 2. And some of you might also be thinking, what about wants? Right now there's nothing left there. After everything it's just gone. I won't sugarcoat that. If that's where you are, the framework isn't your problem. The income is the constraint. But even then, protect the investments first. Even if it's just 2 or 3%. Don't let that be the first thing you cut. Every month will look a little different. Some months the needs push past 60. The freedom fund takes a hit. Something unexpected shows up. That's just life. The goal was never perfection, just something that works more months than it doesn't. That's it. That's the whole thing. Most of us are just trying to give our families a good life in an expensive city. That drive, that ambition to give them something better, that's not a small thing. And just the fact that you're here, thinking about this, questioning this, trying to figure this out, that already means something. Start with what's real, not what some rule says should be real. What's actually in front of you right now. I got this wrong for months. I tried things that didn't work. I then adjusted, got it slightly less wrong, adjusted again. It's a process, not a switch you flip, but it gets easier. And if I could figure it out through all of that, honestly, so can you. That's it from me. If this helped even a little, you know what to do.